What's up, YouTube? It's JJ here with another video. This is my Union Pacific U30C command control, and wanted to share this with everybody. I just got it back from the shop, and I wanted to kind of tell a little backstory on why it's important when you're shopping for Lionel trains, Lionel anything Lionel really, but especially when it comes to the Lionel locomotives. You want to make sure that what you're buying is what's correctly being described. I bought this train on eBay last year, and at that time I wasn't running command control, and I was really just running it conventionally, and I was fine with that. Just getting into the hobby, and so I really think that for me buying on eBay, I have a lot of good experience with it, but at the same time you're always going to run into that possibility that you might buy something that's not as described, and that's what happened with me. This train was described as brand new, and evidently it wasn't. Now, when I got it out the box, it looked okay. It didn't have a lot of damage, but I did notice some little things here and there that kind of made me a little, second guessing that basically. So right up here, one of the things I saw was a little covers right here that look like little ears that come over the side of the cab on both sides here. Those were practically torn off. Now I have them over here in a little container. I'm gonna have to put them back on soon, but just using that as an example as to kind of how I noticed that it wasn't actually new. New means it hasn't been used, or it may have just been taken out the box just for pictures. That's acceptable in my opinion. But if you've ran the train on the track a few times, you've given it some run time, then it's not new. And so it's best just to be honest. That's just, I think honesty is the best policy, and it really just goes a long way. So anyway, had no problems with it really, but one day I decided to take the shell off, and I wanted to just kind of take a look at everything, and I wanted to take a look at my smoke unit. And so I tried to take, there's 2 screws up here, 2 screws back here. And so I don't know, I had trouble with the 2 screws in the front, and I wasn't able to get the shell off. I was pulling on the screws trying to get them out, and they wouldn't come out. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this engine is definitely not new. I was a little upset about that. Now to give you, an idea, I've only paid like $250, $270 for the train. So I mean, I didn't pay, an extremely high price for the train, so I guess it kind of worked out in the end, but still, advertise it as new. That's another red flag for me. So ended up just letting it go, and then one day I decided to take it to the shop, because I ended up getting command control, and the command control remote would not, it synced the train up to the remote and the base, but every time I would turn the throttle to move forward, it would just take off full throttle. Now, to me, that seemed like something's wrong with the train. I was kind of second guessing if it was the command control, but I did a little research, and that led me to believe that it's more than likely the train. All the other functions were working fine. The horn, the bell, the lights turning on and off, the couplers, all the stuff that might seem basic to some folks, from running conventionally, all that was you know, super nice for me. Not having that before. So when I turn the throttle, it just go full throttle, and I was a little down about that. I was like, man, I was excited. You get the remote and the bass. You got your engine. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Just to be disappointed. So I took it into the shop, and took them a while, but it's all right. Um, as you can see, I've been occupied with my Santa Fe anyway, but got this back, and she's working now in command control. And this hobby is always going to teach you some things, and it's really taught me a lot as far as you got to be kind of careful with what you're looking at. Sometimes it could be deceiving when you're buying something that's labeled as new, and always look out for the seller that you're buying from, because not every seller is going to be honest. Not every seller is going to be knowledgeable. That's another thing too. Some sellers just don't know. They don't know what they have. They're just, it could be going off what somebody's telling them, or they could be going off of just they're guessing. They're making an educated guess on what they've gotten. But anyway, they might look at the shell and say, "Hey, it looks new to me." No, not always the case. So I wanted to put it on the track, running around the track for you guys, um, and put some rolling start behind it. I'm excited to have this back, and so wanted to take a second here, and let's do a little running session. All right, everybody, I got it on the track. One other thing I wanted to mention is also what we discovered is that this top part where the two screws go into the shell was glued on. So that was why I wasn't able to get it off originally. And the shop had told me that yeah, it was glued on. And I guess whoever had it had did some work to it, but still proving my point. Not new in the box, not new out the box in any shape or form. But the end to this tail came out good. I'm able to run in command control. There's only one little issue that I don't like about it, and I'm willing to just live with it at this point, and that's whenever I start initially in command control, it does lurch forward. Don't like it, but I mean, at this point, I'll just live with it, and then maybe address it as time goes on. We're making progress, and that's really what's most important to me. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking so much and run the train. Just kind of bear with me here. Let's see. Okay, didn't lurch forward this time. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna turn the volume down for 1 minute, but I'm gonna try to play a little bit of crew talk with you, so you can hear it. It is a little bit different than the Legacy, and there may be some things I'm not doing right, but it's definitely not as detailed as the Legacy. And so let me see here.
Union Pacific 2938, you are cleared on track 1.
Here's some crew talk. Can't understand a word he's saying, but it does work. Let's see what's going on there. Alright guys, so that's my Lionel Union Pacific command control. She's back, and I'm happy about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next video.